Congratulations. So you should now have completed our webinar, How to Plan to Release Music More Effectively. You've got about a 6-week countdown, and you should have a pretty good idea of what to do. But you might be thinking, well, I've still got loads of unanswered questions. You know, what else can you help me with? Well, don't worry, we've got 2 paid courses which go into a lot more detail. Let me kind of just bring those to life for you. So we've got 2 options. You've got a £50 course and an £80 course. And the idea really is to provide step-by-step help and support for musicians without managers. Now, I'm sure at some point as a musician, you've had a question you want an answer to, you haven't been sure about how to do something, and you want to just kind of test it out with someone, or just get answers really. So that's really what this is about. It's about giving you that support when you need it by answering lots of your questions. So within the program, we're covering off 3 stages of the planning cycle. So rather than thinking about releasing music as kind of this linear process, which is like a one-off, one straight line, I always think of it more of a kind of continuous, flow. So you launch your band or your career, your project, then you go into the produce phase, which is where you make your music, you write your music, you record your music, you produce it, and we don't get involved with that. That's for you. But from that point forward, we do. So from planning to release your music, and you've already seen some of that work in the webinar you've just seen, to promoting it, to optimizing. And optimizing is a really important step because it's about understanding what's worked, what hasn't worked, and how you can improve it for next time. So when you go back into the producing phase and back round to the plan and promote, you're doing so with a better understanding of effectiveness. Now, of course, you might create a new band. You might break up from your current project and do something new, in which case, obviously, you do go back to that launch phase. So launch, for many artists, is just a one-time deal, but it can happen several times throughout their career. So that's kind of the planning cycle. And within each of those phases, apart from producers, I mentioned that's for you, we've got a growing collection of video guides and sort of thought pieces, a bit like this, kind of shared over video, sort of giving you some ideas and some thoughts. So within the launch phase, there's kind of 3 kind of key bits at the moment. So how to think and plan in cycles. So I've just given you a very quick heads up on what we're talking about there by cycles. How to launch and establish your brand as well as your band. So really critically, how do you set off on the right path so people really understand what you're about and what you're standing for, and how do you elude that quality so people kind of really do believe and trust in your music. And I can tell you now, as a blogger, we get sent so much music, and you can almost guarantee that if someone looks bad, they're going to sound bad as well. So getting that right is really important. And then how to set up and think like a business. This is a new session we're going to add to this. And this is kind of probably the thing to mention, that this program just continues to grow. So every time we have new questions, we'll create a new lesson. So you pay once, and this kind of growing library of content will evolve around you. So don't think of this as a static one-off payment for a static one-off set of courses. It's always going to be growing, and of course you only pay once. So in the second section, the plan to release, here's some of the kind of questions we'll be answering: how to set your release strategy, how to use purchase journey thinking. So that's kind of a concept about understanding how people choose to listen to your music and where you place your marketing, your communications to have greatest impact on the music they decide to listen to ultimately. How to tap into moods and moments, how to align your music and promote your music in that way, how to create bonfires and fireworks. If you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, don't worry. I say there is a session talking and explaining what I mean by bonfires and fireworks. More practically, how to use Canva to design artwork, how to use Meta or Facebook Creator Studio to schedule posts, and how to start in NFTs. We're entering Web3. It's important that you understand the opportunity of NFTs and how you can get involved pretty simply. And again, that's just a sample of the kind of things you're going to see from the course. When we get into promotion, we're going to teach all sorts of practical things, like how to create a Twitter ad, how to create a YouTube ad or a Facebook ad or Instagram ad, how to understand pixels and how to set up a pixel, how to get on blogs, how to get more coverage for music, how to avoid bad PR, and how to build retargeting audiences. Retargeting is fundamentally important for any musician or small business, and definitely think of yourself as a small business. So how can you re-engage with people who've already shown interest? That's absolutely critical. And then optimize and go again. So when you get to the end of your campaign, or when you get to the very start, before you start promoting, how do you think about what's working? So at the moment, we've got a 70-point audit checklist that kind of runs you through your performance across all social networks, on Google as well, on Spotify, and you can use that to really benchmark yourself and make some really simple, quick changes to optimize performance. So very simple things. It could be like adding end frames or end cards on YouTube videos. So when someone watches your video, they have a recommendation about what to watch next, or improving the tagging or the titles. Lots of simple things you can do to really boost and optimize your performance. And as I've said already, you pay once and new lessons are added for free. So there's going to be a collection of thought pieces added. There's going to be step-by-step lessons, DIY guides. And if you have questions, or if you have requests for content, then by all means get in touch and we can create that content specifically for you. That's absolutely fine. And then I guess the other key parts of the packages is you get video call consultations included. So with the £50 package, you get one 30-minute session. Great if you want to stress test some ideas, if you've got a burning question you want to be answered. With the £80 package, you get two 30-minute sessions. So normally those sessions are kind of £30 each. So you think that for two, you've got £60 of your 80 going on those video consultations alone before you even get to all the video content and DIY guides as well. So great value, and say we'd love to get you on board, love to get your feedback and your thoughts. And say if you've got ideas about additional content you want added, then get in touch. This program has been built for you. I hope that's useful, and I hope to see you very soon on a video call. Good luck.